Don't pay lakhs for a Salesforce implementation when you can actually do 70 to 80% of it yourself. Now, most SMEs and mid-market companies overpay for Salesforce not because it's complex, but because they don't know what actually needs to be done. Let's say you are running a growing B2B company, you have leads coming in from multiple sources, and you have your sales team that is using Excel or Google Sheet to manage leads, and you have zero visibility into what's actually happening. So, what you decide is to implement Salesforce, wherein you speak to a consultant, and suddenly you are quoted 5 to 10 lakhs with a 2 to 3 months timeline. And what you get is a system that you don't fully understand. So that's exactly what we are going to simplify today by walking you through a practical step-by-step guide to implementing Salesforce for your business without wasting time, money, or getting stuck. Now we'll start by breaking the entire implementation into 5 simple phases. For the first phase, before touching your Salesforce, you need clarity. So you need to ask yourself, what is your current sales process? How does a lead become a customer? What data do you actually need to track? So say for example, when you talk about the data, what we have done is we have classified in terms of what is the exact data that we need to be inputted into the Salesforce CRM. So say for example, when I will talk about the account level details, that I know that I want the company name, the website, the account and the industry. When I talk about the customer level details that I need, then I need their name, their designation, their LinkedIn profile and their contact details. Moreover, what I'm also defining is the different stages of the lead flow. Wherein say if there is a lead that I've gotten, the first by default step is say not contacted. But what after that? Is the salesperson reaching out through a cold call, cold email or WhatsApp? So I define those stages. Whether a meeting gets done or if a lead is not interested. So what I'm doing over here is I'm defining the status or the stages in which I want the lead to flow in beforehand itself. Because this is exactly what we need to map onto Salesforce. Now, most implementations fail because often companies try to fit into Salesforce instead of mapping Salesforce to their business. So what you can expect as an output of this phase, that is the phase 1, is you have clear funnel stages. When you know that, okay, lead to opportunity, what is the entire flow? And you are very well aware as to what are the required fields that you want. Now moving on to the second phase, that is setting up the core CRM. So when you first of all sign up on Salesforce, this is how it looks. Wherein in the home you have certain details about your leads or your contacts, and then there are different modules. You have the contacts modules, the accounts modules, and then the sales modules, which is the core of the CRM. When I talk about the contacts module, this is wherein you can store your prospect data, and account is where you can store the company data of those prospects. So to set this up, what you need to do is, first of all, you need to ensure that whatever your existing database is, it needs to be organized and placed in a correct format as per what you need. Next is when you go to Salesforce, what they give is by default the fields that they have in place that include say name, title, account name and account level details that are there. In case if you're looking for any specific details, okay, what you can do over here is you can click on edit and you can add more items in terms of say the contacts. If you want to add anything, if you want to add any custom field, then you can even do that. So this is the level of detailing that it offers in terms of setting up a custom field as well. Now to import the data, what we need to do is we just need to click on import over here, import from either a CSV or any other database that you have. And the import is also made quite seamless, wherein all you need to do is just select the CSV that is there, map the fields according to the fields that are there on Salesforce. So say for example over here we have company name. That same might be different on Salesforce. It might be say account name over here. So we need to map all of those fields and just start import. Once that import is done, you will get the data populated like this onto the contacts page. Similarly, you can do for the accounts page as well, wherein you are adding the account level details. Now, one process that you can implement over here is that before uploading the contacts, ensure that you are doing the account level import of the data. Now, the reason for this is contacts as a module is focused towards just the prospect. So if you can see over here, we have the account name, account industry, account website. These three details are directly fetched from the accounts module. So you need to ensure that you set up the accounts first and then you move on to the contacts. Now when I talk about the sales part, okay, that's the entire process that we see. That's say lead, contacts, accounts, all the modules that are there. Many a times what happens is that people get confused between contacts and leads. So contacts are your existing database and leads are the data that you are getting from say multiple sources or is your new database of customers that you want your sales team to reach out to. So in terms of leads also, as you can see, we have modified exactly in terms of what is the status that we want. Say for example, if I have this entire database inputted, wherein I have the contact details, I have the status, I have all the other details in terms of who is it assigned to also mentioned. What I am not able to get as a visibility as a salesperson is the website of the company, say for example, or which industry does it belong to. Because when I'm making a call or sending an email, and if I want to customize based on that, that information is necessary. So what you can do here to add on the fields that are required is you can just simply click on the list view controls over here, and you can click on select fields to display. Wherein, if I'm looking at any particular field, like say industry, then I can click on industry and click on the arrow over here to make it visible. And I have it over here. So if I want to bring it up towards the company name, so I can do that. And I'll click on save. And what's going to happen is besides the company name, I'll have my industry populated. So this gives me more visibility. So through this feature, what you can do is you can ensure that the fields that you or your team say ideally uses on a Google Sheet can be mapped here as well. Again, one thing you need to take care is you don't need all the data to be visible in one place. You just need the most required and most relevant ones to be there. So that is where you do this. So that is about setting up the basic or the core CRM structure. Next comes is automating certain basic things like say lead assignment rules or task reminders. So what you can do for that is you can go to the marketing segment wherein it will take you to the setup. Now in the setup, when you go to process automation, you will see that there are different things like approval process, automation app, flows that you can create. If there are any workflow actions that you want to do like email alerts, field updates, you can do that. In terms of workflow rules, so this is very interesting wherein you can set up rules over here in using their flow builder. Now flow builder is an add-on application that you can use to create automated sequences or trigger certain automations. Say for example, if I want to trigger an automation, okay, so the multiple options that we get are trigger, scheduled or so, but if I want to do a triggered automation, like say for example, they have given us certain templates, like if I want to send follow-up automation over here for a lead that is captured. So when I click on it, you can see how easy it is to build this up, wherein a event is selected to trigger it. What it starts with is creating the record, that is the lead gets created in the lead section or leads module. Then it sends a welcome message or a thank you email. It waits for a day, then sends the introduction. So this is how the entire follow-up sequence can also be created. Now, say for example, if you want to build something on your own itself, okay, that is also something that you can do by say clicking over here in terms of say automation, and then I'll just simply click on next over here. And this is how I can just simply start by adding different steps. Like say for example, if it gets triggered, what action do I want to do? Do I want to send an email? Do I want to do an assignment, say lead assignment? Do I want to say create any record, say a contact or anything? Then I can do that by simply clicking on it. And then I can click on adding the next steps over here. So this is how easy it is to set up automation on Salesforce. Now, say once this basic automation gets done, what you're going to get is an immediate ROI from working on Google Sheet to using Salesforce, because over here, those follow-ups that might be getting missed can be automated and can ensure that nothing is getting missed. So your entire funnel and pipeline stays intact. Moving on, say once you have already set this up, when I actually go back to the sales module, one of the most important aspect, that's the next phase of implementation, is reporting and visibility. Now, when we talk about reporting and visibility, they have the analytics section over here wherein you can build different reports. Like say if there is a sales dashboard that they have given. So by default, they have created multiple such dashboards and reports that can help you gain visibility in terms of your entire funnel, in terms of forecast, in terms of the revenue that you will be able to get over time as well. So as you can see, when I go back to my home, I can see the amount of reports and analytics dashboard that I have in terms of say not just analyzing the company level information, but a user level information also. So say for example, if your salesperson wants to see their own performance, then we have a my sales performance dashboard as well, which shows that okay, what is the total amount of revenue that they are able to generate, or what is the pipeline that they are setting on. So this was about the reporting and analytics part as well. And when we talk about scaling this particular CRM or scaling this platform, then say you can go into more detailed aspects by using their marketing automation tools. You can have multiple integrations created over here. So if you see, we have this integration section wherein we can directly integrate via APIs. We can integrate using different data sources or even different platforms. So that's how the integration bit can be set up as well. So eventually what you're going to do using Salesforce is, one, since it's such a powerful platform, you don't need to start from day one by implementing everything. What you need to do is start by building the basics, that's the foundation blocks. Ensure that your team sets in that particular process, ensure that they are following that process of updates on CRM, and the functionality is achieved in terms of what you're looking to automate or what you're looking to achieve, moving from say a Google Sheet to a CRM. Then once say your team is hands-on on the platform, then think about what else can you do in terms of say lead routing, in terms of forecasting, in terms of implementing AI, in terms of running multiple ad campaigns and getting those leads into the Salesforce. So these are just few possibilities of implementing Salesforce. Now, what we have done in order to help you implement this is we have created a guide, and the link for that is shared below. If you feel that this is something that can help your business run more smoothly, do check out the guide and do like a video and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. You can even drop a comment to reach out to us in case if you get stuck anyway. And thank you so much for watching this video. Hope this was helpful.